Why, hello there. Are you here to see Tom Richardson do a movie review for Beauty and the Beast? Well, let me can help you out, because you are a guest, and you are here to break the spell. Now, Tom Richardson, you get out here. Don't be a beast. Come on, review the movie for us. They are guests. So hey everybody, that was my Lemire impression from Beauty and the Beast. This character has appeared in both the animated film and this new Beauty and the Beast live action remake that I'm reviewing for you today. And that is today's review. I'm reviewing the new 2017 live action remake of Beauty and the Beast. This film stars Emma Watson as Belle, Dan Stevens as the Beast, Luke Evans as, Gaston. So a lot of really big names here are featured in this new Beauty and the Beast film. So if you guys don't already know, Beauty and the Beast is a story about a prince that lives in a castle, and he is turned into a beast after turning down this woman for asking to stay for the night, basically. He kind of laughs at her and just kind of pushes her away. And as a result, she turns him into a beast for kind of being inconsiderate of others. And until he truly falls in love with somebody is when he can truly turn back into a human being and live the castle life that he once had now that that's taken away from him. And as a result, everybody else who once lived in this castle are now objects of the castle. They're a candle, they're a clock, they're a wardrobe, they're property of the castle. They're no longer human beings until this curse is broken. Then the story goes to a character named Belle, who is living in a village where everybody loves this man named Gaston. She's really not into this guy. She just would rather read books, attend to her father's farm, help with her father's inventions. She really does not want to get involved with this guy. But one day her father gets lost in the forest and he tries to stay at a night at a castle where this beast now lives. And then, there's a whole series of events where Belle finds out about his kidnapping and so forth. She goes to the castle, tries to rescue the father. She does rescue the father, but she is now kidnapped herself. She takes her father's place. And now she's stuck with this beast who, she finds out about this curse that is upon him and so forth. So over time, the two kind of get to know each other. They find out they have a lot in common. And as a result, because they're getting so close, they really do feel like they're falling in love with each other, which could potentially break the curse if Belle and the beast both play their cards right. So overall, guys, I really like this new Beauty and the Beast film a lot. At first people are like, oh, they don't need to remake it. They're just going to redo the whole story. It's just going to be, the animated film in live action. And you're not wrong, but you're not right in the sense that it is well made, that it can be well filmed, it can be well written, it can be well, performed, well acted, well sung. And that's why I think what impressed me about this film so much is the fact that it was so well made, that it is acted very well, all the songs are performed very well. It's just a very good production. It's just a very high quality reimagining slash revisualization of the animated classic now done in live action, and they do a very good job with this. So let's go over some of those positives and negatives of what's very good about this new Beauty and the Beast film. So overall, guys, I thought the acting and the singing talent established and ensembled and casted for this movie were all very good. Emma Watson's a very good Belle. Dan Stevens was a very good Beast. I really had no complaints as far as acting was concerned. There is a character or so I'm going to go over in my negatives that I thought was a little over the top, but for the most part, all these key characters like Gaston, Belle, the Beast, the father, almost any character that lives in the castle with the beast. All these characters are very well handled. So acting wise and singing wise, this film is very well put together. This film also explores more of Belle's mother. We learned a little bit more about her, why she's really not a part of Belle's life, why she wasn't in the animated film, why she really isn't in this film either, technically. But I do like how they explore that. They tell us kind of why the mom isn't really in Belle's life. It's not necessarily something that Belle or the father did, but we do get to learn about that, and how we get to learn about that and how the beast is incorporated into that as well, I thought was all very interesting. There's also a lot of practical sets and props used in this movie. There is a lot of CGI in this movie, but luckily there's also a lot of practical stuff. There was a lot of things where they're able to bring it to a set. They're able to physically have something on the set to work with for these acting talents and so forth. So I liked how like scenes with the ballroom and the library and so forth. These are all things that you can actually like walk around on a set. Like it's actually practically there. There is a lot of CGI, like I said. There's a lot of moments like, okay, that had to be CGI, that had to be this, they had to be that. But the fact that this is an actual true Hollywood production where they actually have physical things on the set and not everything is green screen, I thought was very refreshing for a movie like this. I also liked how the film had a more psychological side to both Belle and the Beast. We learned more about them. We learned, kind of some things that happened in both of their pasts as to how they are more connected with each other than they think. There's more a psychological side as to how the Beast thinks the way he does. There's more psychological side why Belle thinks the way she does. And I think all of that was very well and was very interesting. And that goes to the writing again. They handled the script very well in this movie. One character that really isn't getting enough attention, if anything, he's getting a lot of negative attention with all the media buzz about him being a gay character in the movie, which I really don't think was a problem at all. I really didn't get that impression until I saw something online about it. And even after seeing the film, I really have no issue with it at all. But Josh Gad's performance in this film was very, very good. It was very funny. If anything, I thought he added to the LeFou character even more than the animated film version of this character did. Just a very more involving and more interactive character. So I like how Josh Gad incorporated more of that into this character for the movie. And this film is visually stunning. When they're in the ballroom, you're in the ballroom. When you're in this castle, you are in the castle. When you're in this village that Belle lives in, you are in this village. It's just so visually stunning. The production quality is just so strong and so good with this movie. They really know, whether it's Bill Conda, the director, or the people who were just very involved with this production, they really know how to do the Beauty and the Beast story in live action format. It was just so visually stunning to see. I also like how this film was a familiar story. All the things that you loved about Beauty and the Beast in the animated film are kept here for the most part. And I like how there's a couple of new things. There's not too many new things. They don't change too much, but they have just enough new things where if you're going into this film looking for all the new stuff that happens with Beauty and the Beast, there is just enough of that. There's not a ton of that, but there's just enough where you can see why they would want to, do this story again, why would they would want to make improvements with the story after thinking things through and thinking about how they can add certain elements to certain scenes. Like I said, it's still that familiar story you all know and love, but I like how there's new things added in that create for a new experience in a way as well. As far as how this film compares to the animated film, I think the animated film is a little bit more magical than this film was. I thought the animated one really incorporated the whole, people being a candle or a clock or a wardrobe thing. I thought that aspect in the animated film was a little bit more magical in that one. It works very well in this movie. I thought this film really focused more so on the story and the psychological side of both Belle and the Beast. So I thought that aspect in the live action format was handled a little bit better. I thought it did better with characters and where they stood with things, while the animated film was more magical and more of a fantasy and so forth. So it really depends on how you view the story of Beauty and the Beast. If story and characters are more important for you, if that's the part of Beauty and the Beast that you like better, you might like this live action version a little bit better. I think it does more focus on that, while the animated one was more so about the magical, the fantasy, and the romantic side of the story, which is also fine. It's also a very important part of Beauty and the Beast. So depending on where you stand with the story, I would say that's kind of where I think people are going to be with this movie. Either you like that one side the best or you like that other side the best. And depending on where you stand, that's probably how you'll feel about which version of the story you might like better. Now for my negatives of Beauty and the Beast, because I don't think it's a perfect movie. I thought some of the new songs that they tried to incorporate into this story were just really unnecessary. They just kind of hold off and halt the story in a way. There's one that's near the beginning where they're about to go into how the Beast became the Beast and so forth. It's like a 30-second song that really didn't need to be there. There's another song too where the Beast is on his own again after Belle leaves for like the first or second time or something like that. Also a new song, really didn't need to be there. Once again, it just kind of halted the story, and I just kind of wanted the movie to move forward rather than deal with this new song that really didn't need to be there. There's also some weak song setup scenes. Some scenes like the Gaston, the iconic Gaston song, I should say, right before they get into the whole Gaston thing. I thought how they set that scene up felt very quick. It felt very sudden. Like practically the second we get to that scene, they're right into the song. And while the animated one actually had some build up to the song and so forth. So there's a couple of songs that kind of feel that way. They're just kind of like, boom, here's the song, boom, here's the song. And they don't really want to set up too well. So that is another issue with the film, is I thought that they were so ready to get into the songs that they forgot to set up why that song is there in the first place for the story. There's also scenes in this movie, just like in the animated one, where Belle and the Beast and all these other characters encounter wolves in the forest. I thought the wolves themselves looked fine in CGI, but the second they're incorporated and interacting with something like trying to fight Belle or trying to fight the Beast, they do have a very artificial quality to them. So that's one aspect of the CGI where the wolves looked fine, but when they interacted with something, you could already tell that there was artificial and fake wolves, that they didn't get like real wolves or anything. And then going it back into characters again, I thought the wardrobe in this live action format, and there's a character that's trying to be like a bigger version of this woman that turned the Beast into this beast, I guess. I thought those two characters, they were either unnecessary, over the top, or like the wardrobe, since the wardrobe helped Belle change to her iconic dress and so forth. I thought this interpretation of the wardrobe character, I didn't like how when she opened up it almost looked like a theater stage. It's like that's not what a wardrobe is. That's a theater and a wardrobe are two different things. And I just thought the overall performance was very over the top to me as well. And like I said, with that lady that's connected to how the Beast became the Beast and so forth, I thought giving her a bigger role felt a little forced to me. I felt like it really didn't need to be there. And when you find out more as to why she, I guess, was incorporated more into this story, it just, I just didn't need it. It didn't need to be in this movie. So overall, I'm going to give this new Beauty and the Beast a 9 out of 10. It's a very strong movie. Like I said, depending on where you stand with Beauty and the Beast, you'll either like this film better or the animated one better, depending on where you stand with Beauty and the Beast. Like I said, I think I'm more lenient toward the animated film just because it's a little bit more magical than this film, but they're both very strong. They're both very good interpretations of the Beauty and the Beast story. So 9 out of 10. If you like Beauty and the Beast, if you love Disney classics, be sure to give this film a view.